For the last 13 years, I've lost 60 pounds and kept it off. Today, I'm going to reveal the 5 reasons you're always feeling hungry while dieting and leaving you craving snacks all night, raiding the kitchen at night, and also lying awake 2 a.m. wondering why you can stick to your diet no matter what. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to control your hunger, lose fat without feeling miserable, and finally keep the weight off for life. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button because I'm making a new video about weight loss advice for busy professional men every single week. I use these strategies to help dozens of men just like you lose up to 60 pounds and finally escape the yo-yo dieting cycle. And if you're tired of constantly losing and gaining the same weight, I want to help you get to your healthy self without giving up the foods that you love. The first lie you've been told is that you need to eat as little as possible because you will lose fat even faster, but the problem is that if you're skipping your breakfast, eating tiny lunches, you're trying to survive on salads, but 8 p.m. you are starving and standing in the kitchen wondering why you can't stop eating. And I want you to eat a moderate calorie deficit of 300 or 500 calorie, because if you are eating in a calorie small deficit and you are able to sustain that over a long period of time, you are going to lose weight all around your body. There's no spot reducing fat. Some people are losing weight from your face first, and some of just the love handles and the stubborn belly fat is that just the last place. And having high protein diet that could be 40-45% of your daily calories coming from protein is helpful because you're also reducing the cravings and also feeling fuller when you are on this weight loss journey. And if you are eating foods that are low in calories and high in volume, you're also going to feel more full when you are dieting, and it doesn't feel like you are getting distracted from weight loss because you're just feeling hungry all the time. Foods like could, for example, be Greek yogurt. There's a variation in Scandinavia that's called skyr, that's high in protein, and you could eat lean chicken breast without any oil, just put it into the oven with salt and pepper. It could be salmon, eggs, lean ground beef, and it could also just be eating a lot of veggies. And if you're eating that throughout the day, you are going to feel fuller and not having cravings like late at night, and you're going to lose fat without feeling hungry constantly and not losing control over everything. If you want to lose the weight for good and become the most healthiest version of yourself, just like you saw with me and my client transformation in the beginning of the video, there's a link in the description and also in the comment section where you can apply for coaching with me, and we'll see if you and I are fit to work together, and I'll help build a game plan to help you lose the weight. The second lie you've been told is that hunger means that the dieting is working, and if you're not feeling hungry, you're not losing any weight. And the problem with that is that you are hungry from the moment that you wake up and you are going to bed, and yet your weight is barely moving and you're constantly thinking about food. And that is a big problem, because if you are not having a small calorie deficit of 300 or 500 calories, you are just feeling you are not able to stick to it. And being able to stick to a calorie deficit over a long period of time is what is going to make all the change, because you are burning more fat than you are going to do. And let's imagine that you are eating plenty of vegetables throughout the day. That's low in calories and high in volume. That could be, I always like to eat like a wok mix or iceberg salad mix, because there's prepped with a lot of different kinds of vegetables, and that helps me getting all my fibers. It could be 20 to 40 grams of fibers every single day, and that is just easier for you to stick to your diet because you're not feeling that you are depriving yourself. If you're eating like 1,000 calories or 500 calories and you need to eat, for example, the maintenance calories are 2,000 calories to maintain your current weight, there's a big difference compared to how many calories you are needing, and you're just depriving yourself, and it's just making it very difficult to function throughout the work and also working out and get that 6,000 steps every single day. And combining the diet with a 45% of calories coming from protein with vegetables and also carbs that could be 40%, a combination of all these things is going to make the energy levels being released slowly, so you're able to sustain that hunger level. If you're only eating carbs without any protein, the amount of calories that's going to break down is just going to be very slow, and that is what you want to do with having protein and carbs combined, and not just without any for example only carbs. So by doing this, you're going to feel more satiated, satisfied, feeling more like hungry without feeling the need of binging, but you are still fighting the hunger in a proper way. The third lie you've been told is that you need to cut out all your carbs, like not eating any bread, rice, pasta, fruit is making you fat. And you are just at the point where you are feeling that you are removing all your favorite foods, and every single week is turning into a binge because your diet just feeling impossible and you're not able to sustain to it. So I want you to include carbs in a daily basis. 40% should come from carbs, and it should be a mix of fast digestible carbs. That could be muesli bars, fruit, it could be cookies. I don't want your whole diet to be consisting of cookies, but 9% should come from whole foods. That could be lean protein sources like chicken, ground beef, salmon, eggs, just like I mentioned, and tuna, and the rest should come from whole quality carb sources. For example, slow carbs, that is slower digestible, could be oatmeal, sweet potato yams, it could be whole wheat bread, pasta, brown rice. That is easier for you to eat, and the energy is going to be released slowly throughout the day. And you're also trying to time the amount of carbs you're getting around your workouts. I usually work out on an empty stomach because I'm waking up 7 a.m. and I'm doing intermittent fasting. Then I'm drinking a liter of water, and throughout the morning I'm drinking more water, so 4 or 5 liters of water throughout the day. And then I'm working out on an empty stomach. I have some caffeine pills that helps me get the energy that I need for my workout, and after working out I'm having at least 40 grams of carbs. Most of the time I'm eating the biggest meal of the day with most of the carbs after working out, because that is going to recover my energy levels. I'm breaking down all the muscle tissues from the workout with progressive overload and compound movements, and then I'm going to recharge myself. And I'm also having an eye on the amount of calories I'm going to consume on a daily basis, because you want to allocate the amount of meals that you want. I am someone who eating 3 meals a day, like after I've been working out 6 p.m. as well, and then I'm going to have my last meal of the day 9 p.m. and then I'm going to sleep and fasting 16-17 hours. I also noticed that if I'm having intermittent fasting, I'm also just feeling less hungry throughout the day, and by following this you're going to enjoy the foods that you really love and staying lean all around. The fourth lie you've been told is that the more exercise you will do, the more you will fix your hunger. And if fat loss is slowing down, you just need to do more cardio. And the big problem is that you are in a place where you've been training before work, you're hitting your goals, you're squeezing in extra cardio, but you're feeling so hungry afterwards that it erases your calorie deficit before bedtime because you're binge eating. And I want you to prioritize resistance training in the gym 4 or 5 times a week, because if you are working out with compound movements in the beginning of the workout with 1 to 2 reps before failure, and you're having progressive overload where you are constantly increasing the weight with perfect form and having a good mind muscle connection, targeting specifically the muscle group that you want to break down, that in itself is going to help you build a lot more muscle and having 60 seconds of rest between the sets. By doing this, you are going to building a lot of muscle, and you also want to combine that with isolation movement. That could be ideally 2 to 3 isolation movements, because in the beginning of the workouts you are going to have a lot of energy, but eventually you're just being very tired after working out several muscle groups at the time, because compound movements are working 2 different kinds of muscle groups or 3. And then isolation movements is just targeting one specific muscle group, and you're also starting out with 6,000 steps a day. That ideally can help you lose weight even faster and create a bigger calorie deficit. And when you are hitting weight loss plateaus, you're going to adjust the efforts you are putting in, so you are increasing it with 2,000 steps, and you also want to focus on probably recovery. That could be 8 to 10 hours sleep every single day, depending on your schedule and how much you're working. But ideally, that is just going to help you. If you are having someone who wants to sleep better, you also need to have a sleep schedule, going to bed every single time of the day, and also 30 minutes before you're trying to sleep, you're going to read or journal about your day, and that is going to remove all the noise and distraction and avoid excessive cardio. Don't do any cardio before you are working out with your weights, because that's going to deplete all your energy levels. and you are going to burn a lot of fat without constantly feeling hungry and exhausted and hungry all the day. The last lie you've been told is that you just need more willpower to lose weight, and you are someone who's still believing that if you keep overeating, you're simply not disciplined enough. And the problem with that is that, let's imagine that it's 2 a.m. right now and you are promising yourself that tomorrow will be different, but after another stressful day, you are just going back on your couch and eating a bunch of junk food, chips, donuts, and you are wondering why you're always failing. The reason why you're always failing is that you're not implementing these tools and building more filling meals throughout the day. That could be a combination of the protein sources I mentioned, with like 200 grams of lean chicken breast, and then whole wheat pasta and some maybe pasta sauce that can help you with getting all the fuels, and also putting some vegetables in that or on the side. And you also want to remove trigger foods out of the closet. I used to have a closet dedicated to snacks, but the problem with that was just me trying to binge eat every single night, and that was causing me a lot of headache because I was working my ass off in the gym to create this calorie deficit, but me going into that closet was not helpful because I was just eating all that shit and I was just erasing my calorie deficit. And you also want to plan your evening snacks. So let's say that 90% of the day you are eating whole foods, and 10% is not going to matter as long as you fit in your calorie deficit. As long as you're hitting your calorie deficit macros, 10% of the time it doesn't matter so much. So I was having a lean protein cookie that could be chocolate chip or cookie dough flavor. And you also want to create a healthy environment where making healthy choices is easier. If your family is always eating a bunch of shit every single day, that's going to be difficult. I would have someone who is more supportive. If you're living alone, it's easier to just follow your calorie deficit plan. And if you need support from your family, just talk with them. Just trying to tell them that if we are all trying to be healthier, it's going to benefit everyone, and you're going to control your cravings automatically. Stop restarting every single Monday. And if you want to lose the weight for good and become the most healthiest version of yourself, just like you saw with me and my client transformation at the beginning of the video, there's a link in the description and also in the comment section where you can apply for coaching with me, and we'll see if you and I are fit to work together, and I'll help you build a game plan to lose the weight for good.